Never fails but you figure you're getting a sore dick deal. You can't beat it. It turns out you are getting a sore dick deal. Just not the kind you fingered. I bought this Italian beauty. Is it supposed to burn when I pee? Gentlemen, I know you guys just keep me around for a cautionary tale. Don't do what Donnie Don't does. This is a rant about the right to repair. I tell the wife, I got a license for that repairing. Still never gets me in her words. This thing, sitting, too good to be true, on the Ritchie Brothers Auctioneer website. Right next to the sandblasted, painted with a mop and bucket routine. 75 kilowatt, Italian-made beauty. Not so beauty. Engine D34, which is a Doosan. Now, I've done lots of work for Doosan. Heavy industries, mind, all over the world. Malaysia, all over. Got no problems at all with Doosan. But if you ever see a piece of gear with a Doosan engine in it, run! Bought it at auction, pennies on the dollar. It's a mega gen. Do not buy from these guys, and I'll tell you why. Get an old diesel Cat or John Deere, something with a service department. Now, here's the thing. People don't realize that service is a loss leader. Most places, because they got such an admit burden, they lose money on sending guys out in the field. They only do it to sell spare parts. They only do it because they have to. These guys, these small outfits, they don't have any service. So after I got it home, ran like a hot damn. If you'd focus, you fuck. Thank you. Ran like a hot damn till it didn't. Started losing power. Fingered, okay, well, just need some filters. Where do you get these kind of filters? Hey, call these MegaGen guys up. No filters, no manuals, no nothing. Well, wait a second. What if I stick my hand in the wrong spot? I got to order a warning label. Otherwise, somebody's going to die. I got to get warning labels and manuals and stuff because if I get hurt, then you're on the hook for that. I need a manual. No can do. No manuals. No nothing. Well, sir, you got yourself an orphan. Oh, I go to the local Bobcat dealer. They don't want nothing to do with me. Go kick rocks. No parts, no nothing. It's not in a Bobcat. But you're owned by Doosan. Don't matter. You're on your own. So I started dicking around and I took this filter off, cleaned it up. Maybe some water, slug of water. Maybe this solenoid pumpy thing. Who knows what it could be? I think it's a pump. And the screen and so forth. Still, same problem. It would start no problem. But it would only go at half speed, and then it would fault out on a generator under voltage. And then you come over to here, to the generator control, Deep Sea Electronics, to see if you can't just fix the fault. No. Too simple. And then more faults started coming up with proprietary codes. So you go back to the manufacturer, MegaGen. Sorry, sir. We don't know what that code is. Well, you made the Jeezeless. Fuck it. Well, I went to Italy, email-wise, asked the factory to help me out. No dice. De nada. As they say in Italian. They told me you can only catch AIDS twice, but apparently I got tuberculosis again. In the interim, it's got this Tier 4 DEF system on here. So I filled her right up, and then I started looking at the sensors. Lo and behold, this guy here has been off before, and it's connected to engine coolant, but for heating. I take that off, it's caked. Right foot of salty, pissy goodness. So I clean it up, figure we're good to go. So the temporary fault clears, but apparently there's a permanent fault on there. Then in the crying and cajoling them, I get an email from some dude in Hindustan saying the code, I'm not allowed to tell you this, but the code is for the DEF system. He's basically said, I've said too much. I sat to doing the jazz hands routine on the old gargler, found one of these. A confuser, what for talking to the other confuser. Unfortunately, it had an OBD2 port, And this has a 6-pin. Yeah. Let me tell you, partner, it was intense. This has a 6-pin Deutsch connector. So I was having a hell of a time figuring out the pinout until I realized that when you're looking at the OBD2 connector, it's a little bit cold. I apologize for my red hands, but I've been working out in the field for a long time, partner. OBD2, if you look at the diagram, it's mirrored. I had a Wrath of Khan error. I figured the pins were all fucked up from the Chinese factory, but no. I just had to mirror image it, and then it worked out perfect. So up top on the orange, we got the CAN neg. Oh yeah, come to find out it is Bass Ackards. That port should be CAN high. It's actually CAN low. I had to look this up because how do you reverse engineer the CAN bus connector if you ain't got a CAN bus connector? So there's termination resistors, and you go across the data lines, what you think are the data lines, with a multimeter, and you find the one that is 60 ohms. That means that there's 2 end-of-line resistors, and you're tapping directly into the bus. I'm not sure if you needed them, but there's the black is the chassis ground, and the yellow is positive 12 volts, but it could be the K connector for that OBD2. But anyway, it's 12 volts. You're not going to fry anything. It might be doing some signaling. Might not be doing anything. But the critical thing is the ground and the 2 CAN low and CAN highs. Of course, all the software is pirated. You wouldn't download a car, would you? Yeah, I would if I could. And they want, these fellas in China want to put a spy app on your confuser here in order to let them take it over to do all the accessing and so forth of your data. I wasn't into that, strangely enough. So I managed to finagle the code, and then you just got to install all the drivers and dick around. That was about an evening of fun and adventure. Once I got that confuser talking to this confuser, then I could clear the codes and get the thing to run. It all came down to the DEF system. Diesel exhaust fluid, essentially cat pee. It's urea. They inject it into this vessel here in order to reduce the oxides of nitrogen on a diesel genset in the middle of nowhere on somebody's farm. Yeah. I don't make the rules. So if you go on the Ritchie Brothers and you see a deal that's too good to be true, it's too fucking good to be true. Having said that, now I got a $120,000 generator for $17,000. 300 hours on her. Hello, generator.